Yo, what's up?
Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Here's the Crack podcast.
If you can follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, help us get into those charts. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
And while you're there, leave a lovely comment. Tell us what this podcast means to you. If there's any funny bits, any guests, we'd love to hear about it. Just drop a comment. We're always watching. Let's get into the podcast.
I know I have the skill set, and I could have went somewhere maybe that could have put me in the right places, but it is who you know. Like in life in general, I'm finding out it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack. Welcome back, talking shit, I'm drinking wine, like and subscribe. Here's the crack.
Take your time.
That's alright. How's it going, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Here's the Crack podcast. Another week, another guest. I feel like I say this all the time whenever we have people on. Another week, another guest. Is it just turning into my thing? I think so. We've got Arianna Kennedy on. How would people actually know you? This is always something I want to ask people before we come on. So like Aria Activewear or...
Well, no, I'm more so Aria Activewear, I think, but definitely start off with my butt
right.
on TikTok. Not gonna lie. A lot of one time I was approached in Thompson's, and someone was like to my friend and I, "Are you the girl with the big ass?" And I was, I literally just pointed at my friend. I was like, "It's her, it's her." I was like, "This is so embarrassing," and that was like literally. What? I know, but I guess it's good because I work hard at it. Yeah. So,
do you do like the program thing? Like, is there like something you do?
I don't actually do a program. I should do a program, and a lot of people have asked me to. I've done some like Zoom classes and things, but other than that, it's over lockdown and things, but other than that,
like Joe Wicks.
Yeah, Joe Wicks. Nice. But it's not the same on Zoom as in person. I don't think. Definitely not.
Would that be like the weirdest encounter you've had on a night out?
That is. I don't know if I should say.
No, I think you should.
I don't think. I know if the person watches it, then they'll know. But
you don't have to say their name. Like.
Okay, but nobody else would have done this.
Right,
so we'll
name
go
and shame.
No, I can't. No. But I will say it was the weirdest thing ever, and people will probably not believe me, but I was at a formal, and someone came up to me and they were like, "Oh my goodness," they were a bit younger than me, so like she was just, I think she's a bit drunk, but she was like, "I heard you were coming," and I wore these like butt implant things because I heard you were coming, and I thought she was taking the piss out of me, and I was like, "Oh right, okay." And then she like lifted up her dress, and she had those, those ones with the big pads on them that they're like ice skaters wear them for like to protect them when they fall. No, you bet my right. Well, she had these like cushions basically like attached to her like butt, and she lifted up, she was like, "Look," and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
You were like, "Your ass is so nice."
I was like,
wow.
I didn't know how to react to that. I was just like, "Oh my goodness."
Nice ass.
Almost like this in the middle of the formal, or
this was just that was like mid dinner, like over at the bar getting a drink.
Her
I was no, it was actually so bad whenever I think about it now.
That's an absolute scandal. Imagine if she won like Rear of the Year or something, then she comes over, she's like, I've got pillows, and everybody's like, "You're a fraud."
But it was at a boys' formal, so I hadn't know, it was the first time she'd met me, and that was, I think, the first time, and I was very confused.
I thought she was going to be like, "I heard you were coming, so I came."
Like, hi.
I come outside.
Yeah.
You have an icebreaker question, Thomas?
So we started doing this. Started a podcast.
Okay.
What is your go-to like hangover meal or like cheat meal?
Tribal burger.
Tribal burger.
I don't know. It's
what
the
do you get?
buffalo wings and bacon fries. Really salty though, so it doesn't help how thirsty you are. Yeah. Really doesn't help, but I absolutely love it.
Tribal burger was one of the ones we done in our back in our time where we were doing YouTube videos.
It's somewhere I'd never think of going though. Like,
no,
it is a random one, but I just got addicted to the wings. One day I hated them, and then one day I tried them and I was like, "Oh, it's the one now."
The buffalo wings, is it?
Yeah, buffalo wings, and then the cheese sauce and the chips, so good.
So stop it now. I'm going to Tribal burger straight after this now. Yeah. But yeah, so obviously people would know you, as you're saying, Aria Activewear is obviously a big one as well, but like you recently were in, congratulations by the way, you were in 30 under 30.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, I was really proud of that because it was something else other than my butt.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no.
The Belfast Telegraph rang you up and you were like, if this is about my ass, hang up now.
Don't want to hear about it. Yeah, no, they contacted me and said they wanted me to write a bit about it and how I started and what brought me to it, etc., etc. And it was a good wee write up. I think I was happy with it.
Yeah.
My mum was proud, I guess. My mum and dad were. My dad bought like 7 of them, and I was like, of the papers. And like, I just don't read the papers, so that's gonna sit in the box. But
there were
funny.
there were a lot of people on there which like we've came across before, but like I think India was on it as well, wasn't
India
she?
was on it, yeah, she was on the one that I was so rigid. I wanted her to be beside me, like us together in the photos.
That would have been cool. But like, what did they just contact you and you were like, we've seen what you're doing and you're like part of this, or was it like did you have to apply for it or anything?
No, you don't apply. I think they just find you through people. I think I think a girl off an agency I'm with, it's called Vava Influence. I think she had suggested a couple of people and I was one of them and they contacted me. So it's really nice of her because she saw how well Aria was doing and she was like, put her forward.
Well, obviously, Aria, will maybe get into that towards the end. But we had a list of questions done out because we kind of like took some things from this Belfast 30 under 30 because there's not a lot about you. There's a lot obviously on the Aria website and stuff about you and why you started it and all this here. But then you messaged me today, and then the game plan changed.
Oh,
so you were like,
I gave you so many things.
Yeah, I was like, normally when you message people and you're like, give us like, just do you want to talk about anything? And people are like, oh, I would quite like to plug this. It's upcoming. That's what kind of thought I was going to get. And then you were like,
I have nothing to plug. Like I'm just
sweet,
just living life.
Go for it. But the thing that stood out to me the most was 5 schools.
Yeah.
So is this like early life, obviously?
No, my whole life. So like I went to 2 prep schools. So
preps.
It's a prep school. So posh.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I sound posh then.
I was like, what the fuck's a prep school?
No, sorry, it was a prep and a primary. No, I don't know if Bloomfield's a prep or a prime, but where I went, Bloomfield. You guys don't know these schools, but people who are listening might.
Yeah, so I know there's like preschool, primary school, secondary school, but even like I know now in the past, like with having like nieces and stuff, there's preschool.
Oh, actually, to be fair, if you count my preschool, I went to basically a boys' school, but it was a mixed like kindergarten. It was called kindergarten. It's very American, but I think they just knocked it down recently. But I went to that, so 6 schools technically. But
you're well educated.
I know. I've seen it all. Like that's what I was saying. Like with preps, it was the Penryn and then moved in P5 and P6 to Bloomfield. Then they closed like a year after I left. I went to Rockport, which is a private school. Because
Nice.
No, it's so I know people take the piss out of me about that, but I think my mum just thought like she didn't know how well I'd do in like a different school. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like she was just a bit concerned maybe about me. So she was like, right, Rockport for first year, and then went to Strathern till 5th year, and then I think I was like 1 mark off or something getting back into Strathern. And then went to Ashfield. So I've been to a private, a grammar, and what's the other one? The
Uni? No.
Culture school.
There's a word for it.
Just
it's a public school.
High school.
High school.
High school we got there. So I've seen it all. Like I've been around so many different people, and it's so nice. I love it because I feel more well-rounded because of it.
Yeah.
Like I would have moved more if I could have, because I love starting. Like I love making friends. So I would like go to a new school, new uniform, make new mates. Like I'd have big friend groups.
My worst nightmare.
Really, it is. It's some people's worst nightmare, but I just love it.
I know. Whenever we went from like,
you just hate change.
I hate change. Oh, absolutely. Whenever we went from like high school to, we went to like that's how me and Thomas know each other, was we went to Belfast Met.
Yeah.
And I remember like for the first week I was like, no, I hate this. And I didn't really like high school as well. I was glad to go to high school, but at the same time I was like, I just hated all the change. I couldn't do the whole like new uniform, walking in, making new mates, especially at that older age. Like what was that like if you were at an older age? Like how was it like making friends at like your older sort of teenage years where people are a bit more like opinionative and stuff?
I was lucky because everyone knows everyone. Like kind of in East Belfast, well, in the areas I was in. So like I went from into the older school, high school, knowing people, and I knew some people from the prep schools that had moved in, so I knew just who to like gel with, and then I've had like similar friends since P1 upwards, so it was really good for me. I could just like kind of blend in with everyone. Although it really shows you who your real friends were, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because like if you like they'd be your best mates, and then like you'd move school literally 2 minutes around the corner, like I mean 2-minute walk, and then some of them just wouldn't have contacted you ever again, and I still haven't heard from some of them, and you're like, okay, no problem, maybe I did something, I don't know.
Yeah, you moved school, that annoyed them. I
Yeah.
feel like there is that sort of like high school like rivalry,
Yeah.
especially we always seen it with like the rugby sort of thing. It was like, oh, BRA, or oh, Belfast Inst, oh no,
Yeah.
they're the scum, and you're like, oh, why?
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
know,
lost.
I was literally about to say it.
Yeah,
Like, I was like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like we're on a
It's-
different planet here. Like.
I don't know, must be like a high school grammar
East
school
Belfast,
thing.
it's East Belfast, I swear.
Why are you so confused? Did you not
We
have
didn't
that?
even
Like,
have rugby in our school. like.
no, but did you not
You
have
have
that with
rugby?
like?
We didn't even
We
have
didn't
rugby
have
in
Oh,
our
no
school.
way. Well, rugby's like the main thing. Like the
Yeah.
schools cup. My cousins were in it actually recently,
Yeah.
in Methody, and they won.
We only
I'm
have
loving it.
football, like
Gaelic.
Gaelic, yeah. But did you not like even like going back to that? Did you not even have that like if you were playing Gaelic was like another school? If you were playing another school, it was like, oh, they're pure crap. You know what I mean, like that rivalry.
Did you not play badminton or anything?
Oh my god.
Badminton.
Are you joking?
That's something you done
Netball?
in
Nothing.
Couldn't afford rackets.
I'm pretty sure we started a basketball team whenever we were in fourth year for the first time ever.
I
We're
think
like,
we've
we're
done
gonna do this.
basketball.
We're gonna make
Yeah.
something of this school.
They just got fucked every time. Like it was so bad. But no, it was literally hurling or football. Like and that was it.
Yeah.
Pretty basic. Like.
I tried badminton whenever I was in first year.
I did like
join-
playing badminton. It's fun.
I loved badminton.
That's good. Like, well,
Joined the badminton like sort of club. Went on a Tuesday. It was all upper sixth.
the
Me in first year.
badminton club, like, oh, it just sounds so
Oh my
shit.
word! I went a week and was like, no, this isn't for me. Like, no way. I'm gonna get bullied.
Aw.
This is a fast track into how to get bullied. Like, it's
I
just
think,
only
did
first
you not
year.
did you not think that before joining the badminton thing?
Nah, because when you go, like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get into new things, make new friends, try to make new friends. Then arrived at badminton club, was all upper sixth ones. They're like, oh,
Oh,
I
so
think I'm gonna
cute.
flip and creamy, smacking flipping
Were you good at it?
shuttlecocks everywhere. I mean, I'm class at badminton.
Oh yeah.
1v1 you, no bother.
You good at tennis?
Yeah, we started playing tennis like sort of properly like a year. Well, I say properly. We just started going like twice a week just
Okay.
for exercise.
Yeah.
And we got really competitive, like really into it. Like,
It is intense.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. I think I've played tennis like once or twice. It's fucking hard.
Isn't
it's
it?
so much harder
People
than you
see
think. Like.
people see you playing, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, easy. They get on. They can barely hit the strings. Like it is technical. Like it's difficult.
And once you're on the court, it's so much bigger than it looks.
yeah, you think
off.
it looks sweet. I know.
Keeping it in the lines and all, you think it's so easy, but it's
I know,
not.
it's not easy. Yeah, it's
Dodgy
not
calls
easy.
over here.
yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of tennis, you got a tennis scholarship. Tell us about that, or you
was-
were offered one, or
Well, it was very much I could have chosen between a couple. Like I just had to put myself down, and I would have got either like a half. I don't think I was good enough for a full, so probably not, but like a half scholarship, which is also the reason why I thought maybe just leave it, because America is very expensive, like to get
Yeah.
over and back and forth, and I'm quite a family oriented person and friends and stuff, so and you know that whole pressure of like getting pushed to go to uni, I felt that, and I think people wanted me to prove it to myself that I could go to uni and stuff, but even though I knew I could, I think most people are capable of uni, but I fell into the trap of going to uni and thinking the tennis would be good, because I got an unconditional for one in England. I wonder if you've heard of it. Winchester? No.
It's so.
I feel like this is
It's so but it's somewhere where you'd retire.
It's not where the Queen
Would-
lives.
She probably has a house there, you know.
oh god,
No, that's Windsor.
I feel like
No,
this
you're
is
thinking
like
of Windsor.
Shay,
Down-
Shay big up in the Queen's knowledge.
proper downtown
Yeah.
Abbey
No,
vibes.
I know. I got there and like I thought the tennis would be good there, and I was the only one that took it seriously, and I was winning all my matches and playing the best tennis of my life, and the rest of my team were there for fun, so we didn't win. I don't think anyone had ever. The girls were, when I beat them, the other university girls from like other English unis, they were crying because I beat them, because I think they were so like, Winchester's gonna be easy every year, like nobody's won, like ever lost a match to Winchester people, and like I made girls cry and I felt bad. I was like, sorry, but like I wasn't gonna lose just because the rest of my team were. I was like, no.
Did that cause a divide or anything between you and the ones in your school on the team? They were probably there just for the crack,
They were
and you
there
were
for the
just
crack. They were like, yay, go Ari, like do you want to be captain next year? And I was like, no.
Oh, so they were happy enough, like they weren't jealous or anything?
No, they were just there for the banter. So I was like, right, and definitely not loving it. So that like immediately put me down, because I was like, tennis is the one thing I was like kind of most excited for, because I did event management at uni. Like I just picked a random degree because I didn't know what I wanted to do, which is a standard thing, and then was pushed into it quite quickly, which I don't recommend. I'm not trying to influence people, but just take a break after
And
school.
was like tennis something that you were taking seriously? Like, did you want to try and make it in tennis? Like,
definitely.
And how far did you go with that?
I was top in Ulster, and I played tournaments down in Dublin and things, did well in those, but here it's really hard to make it in sports in general. I think, well, it's good for rugby, I guess, but like the main, like tennis, it's just, Ulster tennis was a bit like, I know the institution of it wasn't the fairest, and it just wasn't the best.
What do you mean, like fairest?
Just like
favoritism
there
type
was
of thing?
favoritism big time, yeah, and like I
Who
think
you know and stuff.
who you know, and and I think with coaches as well, coaches are so sour, and like if one person left one person, like they just all hate it. There was no like, let's get together and help. I think it might have changed now, so don't take that my, but I don't.
Ulster tennis calling
There's
us up.
something I know.
Take that down now.
There like literally, I remember this is actually quite bad, but like my mum was like, this was like really early on, and I was losing this particular match, and my mum literally went, "Go Ari!" Like she just like shouted, "Go Ari!" This girl who was beating me walked off the court, like ran off, got the tournament organizer, brought her on, and she went and shouted at my mum and was like, "Don't say anything." And my mum was like, "She's losing." Like, like what?
What
like
the fuck?
it's not Wimbledon.
So petty.
I know, but it was just
Don't
that.
hold back.
But that particular girl that I lost to that tournament, it's so funny, I had an all-nighter, and a different day, and I came in, it was like my club's tournament, and I was like crying because I hadn't slept literally a minute, because I thought I'd slept over at my friends, and my tennis coach was like, right, get in court, and I was like, no, I don't want to do it, like I'm too tired, and he like forced me on. He was like, you're going down there, you're not, like, go, you lost here last time, you've nothing to lose. And I was like, right, okay, and I literally thrashed her, and on no sleep, I was like, this is the best thing
So like
ever.
easy. If there's a movie made about you in 30 years, that will be your pinnacle moment.
Me on an all-nighter, no sleep. But yeah, it was funny, it was good.
And when did like the tennis come to an end then? When were you like giving it up type of thing?
After uni, I came home, played for a bit longer, only recently realised there's like a tournament that you win £1,000 if you win.
Right.
I was like, that's good prize money.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm like, might take it up again for that. But no, I love tennis. It's like my outlet. So like I feel way worse just generally whenever I'm not playing.
Yeah.
But my shoulder it gave me a bit of crap. So
Yeah. So do you still play, but just obviously a bit more like leisurely?
Yeah, a bit more leisurely, but my coach has a big upcoming tennis player, and he would need a hitter. I've always played with men as well, like that's how here's not great for female tennis either. Like you have to just leave. If I wanted to go pro or semi-pro, I needed to just go to America, but at the time I didn't know that. Like I should have just...
Do you think knowing what you know now you would have went?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Do you regret not going?
A wee bit, but then at the same time I would have been there when COVID hit, so it would have been so strange.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what America was like with lockdowns and stuff, but I wouldn't have been able to travel home.
I know someone that I know, his brother was over, I think he was in like Tallahassee, in, you know where your girl came from The Office, Tallahassee, I think it's Florida, but like he went over, I think it was to do like medical research, like for his PhD or something, and they were only home like last week.
No way.
Yeah.
See, that's what I
For
mean.
like that they moved like completely.
Yeah.
They couldn't go home. I don't know, but And sure, you look at flipping China, and China's still
Lockdowns.
China is still like there's
Is there?
So
Are
I
there?
found
They had
this
a phone,
mad.
they were screaming out the
Yeah.
windows and all.
I found this
Wanna go.
mad fact out the other day. They put a bit of like a paper barrier on your door in like some cities in China.
Yeah.
So if you open it to go out, they can see that you've broke the seal. And like you get mad fines.
That's fucked.
And like they've took videos and stuff like out balconies, and people are just like out of balconies yelling, and you're like,
That
what
yell.
the heck? Like imagine that over here, paper barriers and stuff. It'd be a flipping out in the
Riot.
streets.
Oh my goodness,
That's
it'd be a
crazy.
riot.
I'm telling you.
I know.
I thought it was all over.
No, it's not all over. No,
No China for me.
China for
I
you.
think mine was South Carolina or North Carolina, one or the other that I wanted to go to. It was that long ago now. I'm like, where was I going? But yeah, no, I just decided
But
against it.
Here's a question for you: Would you still do it?
So
Like you're still young.
You probably
still
still
time.
could still do it.
it's money,
Yeah.
money, and now I've got my own business, so it's a bit.
It's so dear over there, though. It's proper
It's,
dear.
it's money, and it's
Yeah.
it's like complete, like not kind of isolation in a way. Like your life just nobody else matters anymore. You just have to go
Yeah.
and train all the time.
What was the Nadal school thing? Were you offered that?
Oh my goodness, no! I went to that to play a tournament, and it was the most insane thing. Like, see if you're ever in, I think it's Manacor in Majorca, just go to look around it, because it's like he literally is a museum of himself. Imagine having a museum of yourself, like literally
I love
every
that, like.
trophy, everything about you, and then he has like. Oh, it must be like 40 tennis courts. He has clay courts, every type of court, and I got to play on the one he's played on and stuff, so I was all excited. And then I met him. He came. He's really like what's the word, solemn or something in person.
Yeah.
He's not the most like smiley person.
Yeah.
But you don't get that really off the TV either unless he's winning. But
No.
yeah, no, it was that was a fangirl moment. Even though I don't really fangirl over anyone, but like that was like a whoa, like a starstruck moment.
Do you ever think in like, not that this gets really deep, but do you ever think like 30, 40 years down the line you may look back and be like, I should have done that?
Yeah, probably. No, because I know I have the skill set, and I could have went somewhere maybe that could have put me in the right places, but it is who you know. Like in life in
Yeah.
general, I'm finding out it's not what you know, it's who you
Yeah.
know. Like, oh, like I have a contact that'll give you this, or a contact will help you out with that. Like the same with tennis, like you have to find the right person, and that could get you to where you want, and you have to find sponsors. Sponsors is the other thing over here. It's quite hard to get, but actually tennis is also, I say I'm known for my butt, but one of my TikTok like took off, one of my tennis videos went viral, but again, see, my butt was in that, so it probably helped. But I did hit a class shot, and I got a lot of compliments on the tennis, so that was good.
Nice. I feel like TikTok's just a minefield of just like anything like you do, you couldn't even indirectly, you probably didn't even mean to do that, and it's
Yeah.
like people will just be like, here, like,
Yeah.
what was I seen the other day? It was like a girl, she was cooking or something, and she literally turned around to their fridge, and people were like if you're here for that ass.
Yeah, they always turn it into
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was a good shot, but like it was literally my brother. He was like narrating it to David Attenborough. He was like, "So here we have Ariana getting her butt out for," and I was like, making her brother film her butt, and I was like, "Rory, just record the tennis."
the damn thing.
Yeah, and it worked. It's my most viral video, so I think it got like 2 million or something, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh, at one stage, if you typed in tennis, I was above everyone. Like I was
No
above
way.
Federer and Nadal, so I was like, yay!
Nice.
I took a screenshot.
Nadal
of
meets you
it.
next time, and
Yeah.
he's like, I know you.
Yeah,
He's a
like,
bit more
"I've seen
perkier
you."
next time. He's like,
No, it was so weird, but I was like, right, that's the closest I'm getting to tennis fame anyway. But yeah.
I seen one the other day, and it was a girl sliding down a water slide, and like they'd you know the way you can like superimpose like green screen yourself, and like
Yeah.
she slid down the slide. As soon as she started sliding down the slide, obviously she was in a bikini, but she slid down, and then like 7 people had like stitched it, so it was just
Oh,
all these
no.
guys just flinging themselves like through the thing, and I was like, how do people have the time or
I
even
know.
go like, you know what I'm gonna do?
The time,
I'm gonna
the
do this.
resources.
We're getting a good insight into your For You page.
Yeah,
Tell
true.
you.
I suppose moving on now, like Aria Activewear, how did that come about? Like,
Well, so basically, I know since I was like 15, I always knew I wanted a brand or business or something called Aria. I just loved the name Aria. I always kind of wished I was called Aria, but I do like Ariana now because of Ariana Grande. But I was literally thinking, I was getting sent stuff over lockdown by like Gymshark and my protein, and I was like,
so that like sorry to interrupt you, but like the TikTok took off before the clothing, like so like you were big in TikTok and then you started the clothing.
Yeah, so I think I had like 70k. So I started my own. I actually launched Aria on its own TikTok.
Right.
So well, obviously the business TikTok, and I think it was our third or fourth TikTok that literally just like completely blew up within 3 days. There was something like ridiculous, like over 170,000 people on the website in 2 or 3 days, and like it was so fun. I had videos. I needed to make the YouTube video, but I have videos of like me just sitting here, and the Wix, the app has like a little ding every time someone visits your website, and like it gives you where they are as well. So literally every country was going ding, every city, like it was constant, and that just didn't stop for like 3-4 days. And I was like, this is insane. We've changed from Wix to Shopify now, so it doesn't have that, so it's not as exciting, but like like it was insane. There was some weird, I think we had like, was it 1 million? I think it was just it hit 1 million views and we just sold out, and that was that. And I was like mind blown. I was just sitting. We were all like all guns blazing. We had to get other people in, like trying to help pack the packages. There's hundreds of them to get out within like the. It was just mad. Like I can't believe that happens still.
I always have like do you have like respect for people who like if they get sent stuff? So many people are just completely like, I don't know, we've never really been sent anything, but like I don't know how we would
I'll
react.
send you some Aria.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you men's or
Shay probably has the figure for it. Shay probably has a better figure than us all for it. But like people get sent out all this stuff and they immediately just go, oh, it's class. Yeah. Were you like that, or was it more like, no, this is
so no crap. I if I got something, I usually got to pick what I was getting, so I picked stuff that suited me or that I liked. So it's not that I didn't like this stuff, but I could always find something that I was like, I don't like this, or like I wish they did this. And like I was also like, if the Gymshark and my protein and all these different massive billion-dollar brands are giving me stuff, why am I giving them more money? I was like, I'm advertising on my socials. I was like, people ask me where I get my stuff from and like what I'm wearing to the gym. Like, oh, where'd you get that top? Where'd you get this? And I was like, why do I not have my own? Because I know what I like. I know what other people like. I'm a PT as well, so I hear all the time what girls don't like about their clothing and stuff. So I was like, right, I'm gonna do my own. And I saw a gap in the market for the particular leggings that did like sets that sold out and did well. And the colours I really liked and picked and everything. So
what was it with the likes like not naming and shaming, but like what like the likes of Gymshark or Brownie Protein, if they sent you something, what was the main things that you were like, I hate this, or I don't like this, or they're doing this wrong?
It was mainly materials. It was material blends, and I literally have tried every brand. Like that's why I thought it was another really good reason, because there were some things like waist would gape, or like my leg, something was like tight around my butt but like not around my legs. There was always something, but I like, it had to be really specific. And then I was like, do you know what, I'm just doing my own. I want to try my own. Like I knew the exact leggings, I knew I wanted contours, I knew I wanted particular colours, and people like to match, so I was like, I have to do that. But everyone's loving them. Like I think we've only got 5-star reviews at the moment. And like that's good. I get messages all the time. Like I just want to make people feel confident as well. That's the other thing. Being a PT again, like I see so many girls come in and they're like hiding their bodies and like they want to look better. And if I can make like one girl messaged me the other day being like, hey, I got my Aria stuff. I think she got like the highlight collection, but she was like, I couldn't wait to get out of bed and go gym this morning, like thank you. And I was like how sweet. So we just sent her more stuff. Like she wasn't like, I was just like, if she's not like, if she feels better about herself, then like I've done my job. Like that. It's, I think a lot of people think people start up businesses for money, but I've never been a money driven person. I've had a really privileged upbringing that I was very lucky for, and then really struggled to see what I wanted to do, especially with ADD and dyslexia. It's hard to focus on stuff. And the whole school thing, and you have to go to uni, you're gonna fail at life, that kind of thing scared me. So I thought the business was the best option for me because I had full control. I hate having a boss as well.
And like, how did it go from like, you obviously noticing, like I would like to make something better, like how did you get like the product then, like how did you get the right sizing and materials and stuff like that?
So there's so much about this. I had a bit of help. Basically you have a lot of samples sent out to you. Like, I was not putting out anything I wasn't happy with, like, obviously. I guess you can't suit everyone, you can't fit all, so I guess someone's probably ordered the leggings and be like, no, they're not for me, they're not for my body shape. But like, I'm trying to get like, I've tried to do them to make you feel and look better, because they are very enhancing. They're like proper contours where your butt is, your butt crease is, so it immediately gives you that like fuller ass look. But like, we had to find so many suppliers and get samples from a million different ones and listen to reviews, and there's so much trial and error because on time as well. Like, you think things will be quick, but they're just not.
But so like, people probably look at it now and they're like, oh yeah, like it just looks like it was just an overnight success, but like, how much time went into like the designing of the product from like when you decided you want to do it till you actually launched the site?
Oh, so much. I wore them for, I think it must have been a year beforehand. Like, I put them through everything, like every trial, every test, making sure they're squat proof, making sure they don't roll down. We have got like people asking for them without contours and stuff, because I know contours are very specific, more Jimmy type girls, I guess.
What is a contour?
These wee things, these like
the different
shadows,
colours?
like the different colours, so that it enhances your body, basically, the way they've been placed.
Right.
But a lot of work, like there's loads of things you just don't think about as well. Like, the website itself has to be built, the cards that go in the stuff. We have compostable packaging, so ours just turn into worm food, which is really cool, because it means we're not like chucking plastic.
Sustainable.
Yeah, I love nature, so I was like, I'm gonna try and make it as sustainable as possible.
That's one thing I actually noticed there recently, like Dragon's Den and stuff. Like, your girl is so, like, anybody who walks in and they're like, Deborah Meaden is like sustainable, pure. She's immediately like
snapping it up. Like.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like, and it's such a big thing, but that's so cool that like it's like, it's cool hearing like the little things. Like, it's just not like, oh, I hated leggings, so I just made my own.
I knew what I liked in leggings, I guess, was the main thing. But no, I watched David Attenborough the other day, and they were like walruses or something falling off ice, because the ice was breaking and melting, and I was crying. I was just saying, like, why does this have to happen? So it was really upsetting me, and I was like, we need to make like every it will be expensive to do, but as long as I'm in charge, I'm gonna make like as much sustainable as possible, because like we're ruining the planet.
And you were saying about TikTok there, is like, would TikTok be the main like sort of thing you use to market the product, or do you use Facebook ads?
We've only just started some Facebook ads there recently to try, but we are looking for a marketing team, because like, my boyfriend does a bit of it. He would try and help me out, because he would be good with that side of things. But like, I think we just need to go and get like someone who actually does that for a living, because I think I listen to loads of podcasts, and they're like, you can't try and be good at everything.
What's that kind of like then, going from like just an idea to now you're like hiring people? Like, is that strange to you, or is that just something that's almost coming naturally now?
Well, it was very much, he did help, to be fair to him. He helped a good bit from the start, like, because I was obviously stressed out of my mind, and he just, like, where my strengths weren't as good, he was like, right, I'm gonna help you out and get involved, because I think he saw the hype in it and the capabilities of it as well. So I don't know. We are looking at hiring someone for socials, because I manage like 5 different social accounts, or 6 or something. Like, there's so many now you have to keep on top of. It's like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok on my own, and then so 6, and then on Aria's. So I'm trying to find someone to do a bit of that, and then I can focus on getting the new products in and everything, and sampling them, and getting in my perfect stuff that I just wear every day. Like it is biased, but I do wear them every day. Like I actually can't go back, and I've heard that a lot, to be fair. I can't go back to the likes of other like Gymshark and stuff like that, because they're just not the same to me anyway, and a couple of people have said that, which is nice.
I suppose that's a good thing, where you find something that works for you, and now other people are buying it into it, and you're like, what's the point now? And going like, it's perfect for me, and if it's perfect for other people, happy days.
Like women's best messaged me the other day, and they were asking to send me like 3 outfits, and then they were saying they'll pay me for a TikTok and just send me 3 things of clothes, and it's one TikTok, and part of me's like, I don't mind. There's like, I just look at this random, and whoever knows will know Tammy Hembroy. Like, she is literally my idol. Like, I just love everything about her brand and everything. And
is she a girl? I think I know you're.
She's pregnant at the moment.
I'm thinking of someone different.
I have sure
no clue.
Oh, how do you not know who Tammy Hembroy is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you have to look her up. She's got, it's funny because she's got her own brand called Sasky, which is her daughter.
Yeah.
But she just is my goal. She lives in Australia, everything. I just want to be able to like move out and go and live in the sun and have like my business running.
We were just talking about this like in our last podcast, like going to Australia and just.
Well, you guys can come out whenever I'm
Are you going to move out to Australia then?
Well, will I?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. I just don't know how to go about it. That's my problem. Like visas and all that. It's so stressful, and then COVID as well. Again, like no idea if they'll do a lockdown or anything again.
Yeah. And what way would that work with the business then? Like with supplying it and stuff, would it change anything? Or?
That's a good question. I would maybe have to set it up so that people here are still doing the packaging, but like I can move out for a couple months at a time. I just manage the socials and things like that out there, because anything that's remote I could do. So
And who's working for you at the minute? Is it just you and your boyfriend?
it's just me and my boyfriend at the moment.
So then you
which
probably
is
have to employ
stressful
staff
in
and stuff.
itself. Yeah, no, I don't recommend it, but okay, I know it's good. He's brilliant. Like he's very switched on whenever it comes to like the more internet side of things, like techie, more tech side of things. But
so if you could have like one person, like one celebrity as such, or like just like a social media influencer type thing that you would look up to, taking the girl that you just mentioned out of the equation,
And us.
who would, and us obviously.
okay, well you 3 are getting something.
Yeah.
I need to see the post.
What would it be? Who would it be? Like, well, maybe go for 2.
It'd be
go
cool
for 2
if it was
people.
not like royalty, because that would really like
the Queen.
the Queen.
The Queen with the contour.
Love the Queen with the Aria leggings on. Yeah, no, she would find them comfortable, to be fair. No, I'm trying to think. Maybe like Rihanna or Ariana Grande. Have to say Ariana Grande.
Nice.
That'd be really mad.
That
But
would
no,
be
we
mad.
actually had to. Have you guys watched Too Hot to Handle?
No.
I've heard of that, yeah.
You
Bits of it, I
need to
think.
have watched Too Hot to Handle.
It's basically like
It's so
Love Island,
good.
isn't it? Only
It's like, yeah, but they have to
Netflix?
abstain from everything,
Yeah, I
so
think
they
I have
can't.
watched it.
Yeah, and
Was it-
there's
Oh,
a
they lose
prize
money, don't
fund,
they?
and they lose
Yeah.
money if they like if they pull someone. It's $3,000 gone.
Yeah, my girlfriend was talking about this the other day. It was like the people were in like the house or something for like 2 days and was just already like breaking.
Oh yeah,
their,
like $50,000 gone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How could you not like?
I know.
no.
It's if you're put in that situation.
But then they're clearly hiring people who they're clearly scripting it as well.
Okay, yeah, I think they go like, look,
So
you
how-
have to go pull.
Yeah, how much are you allowed? How much do you
It's
get
like,
if
I think the prize fund this year was 200,000.
No bother.
And no
bother.
And
But
no,
it's not you. You're relying on other people
yeah,
too.
you're relying
like,
on other people, and they just like ruined it. They
Oh, so you're relying on other people not to do the deed?
not to
like?
do anything
Right.
or pull or anything.
But that's so invasive too. Like that
It is invasive.
The film crew know you're doing that. Now,
I know.
if it does happen.
But the winners of this year's one, the Bo, I just replied to one of her stories, like asking where she got an outfit, and she followed me, and then she replied to my story of me packing, being like, oh my gosh, your stuff looks lush, like can I have to put through an order, and I was like, don't worry, like I'll send you some stuff. And she was putting up on her story, and she's got like I think 600,000 followers, so that's the biggest we've had so
That's
far.
class.
So that was mad, but we were very excited about that.
And do you do much like influencer marketing and stuff? Like, would you send stuff out to many people?
Do you know what? I've actually got away with doing that not very much, purely because I'm so indecisive, and that's why I need someone else to do it. I need to hire someone to do it, because they'll have like a list of people. I know you still have like a fear of rejection though. Like even if you're the company, like you still asking people, and people just like, either ignore you, or like if they just don't, and you're like,
That's
okay,
so true.
no problem. We've had that once, but like I was just like, okay, but you just feel kind of awkward because you're behind a brand, but they can't see you. But it's still like nerve wracking to message people.
Yeah, even whenever we message people for the podcast, it's like, do you want to come on? And it's like you have that fear where you're just like,
you get left on red.
Just left
sometimes.
on red
Yeah.
so much. It's unreal. But you mentioned there a wee while ago about the sort of like dyslexia or like ADD. So how you were saying the dyslexia was something that you didn't really discover until like a lot of years down the line.
Yeah.
Like a late diagnosis type thing.
Yeah, I think it was like 5th year, so like during GCSEs or something. So I was just struggling through GCSEs. Like I was working, I don't know how hard I worked really, but I worked hard. I got them all, apart from French. I got a D in French. Didn't like it.
Sure.
That's all right though. Sorry guys. But yeah, no, I just, my brain was like, I was like working hard enough and like working the same as my friends. They were coming out with A stars. I was getting B's and C's, and I was like, what is going on? And my mum was kind of like, right, she's a psychologist, so she knew people in that sort of area. And then I got tested for that. I had it, so I got extra time. I think on like that was my first. You know, what are your pre-GCSEs and mocks?
Yeah.
So I think it was mocks, and then I got extra time eventually, and then ADD.
The extra time can be so boring as
Yeah.
well.
I know.
It can be really bad. Like
not if you're me.
yeah, I remember.
didn't
Was it a history exam I done, and it was 2.5 hours,
Oh
and
my
you
goodness.
had 50, like you get 25% extra time. So literally, it's like 3 hours. Like you're there for like 3.5 hours, just
know.
doing writing
Yeah.
essays. Like
Did you not, with the ADHD as well, did you not find it kind of hard to like sit down and do tests and stuff?
Oh
or
my gosh,
how did you realise you had the ADHD then?
No, I don't have the H apparently. Well, I don't. That's
What do you
what
have
I'm-
then?
So I only have ADD. I know it's
Right.
really weird. I didn't think that was a thing either, but then I found out I had it. So it's just my focus. I'm not like, I haven't got like the fidgety thing. Like, an ADHD person when you see one usually. Well, I do definitely now because I know what to look out for. But like it's like you can't focus in. If you're not interested in it, it's really difficult, and it's so many more people have it than people think. Like people go, my dad went a lifetime without getting diagnosed. Like he definitely has it. Like he's driving, and the next minute he'll be like, "Oh, look at that hawk up there," and I'm like, "Dad, can you keep your eyes on the road?" Like it's just kind of your brain just flits about to things. So I got Concerta medication. It's like basically I'm a low dosage. Like I know a couple of people who are like 4 times my dosage, which is like mental, but like you do change, you're definitely more like settled and like able to just, if you give me a task I'll be able to do it and not be like floating about the place.
do you ever not take it?
Yeah, sometimes I don't take
Right.
it.
And how do you
like I'm living on the edge a bit. No, I'm joking. No, I'm just so talkative. Like I think people know I'm not on it, more so my family, because I do just go from one thing to another. Like proper like like I will literally just be talking about one thing and then be talking about there's like a fly over there, like that kind of thing. Like it's quite bad.
Yeah.
But
No,
it
fair.
is so like so many people don't think about it or just go, they just think they're badly behaved. I think I got a bad rap in school, but like nobody ever said, have you ever thought about, like every report of mine said like lack of focus, and not one person thought to like be like, not one teacher was like, should you maybe get her tested for like something like that, ADHD. But I guess everything happens for a reason.
Second year before they figured out I was colorblind.
Weird.
I swear, like we went through years and everybody was just like, he's just a full-on idiot. Like, and then there was one, I think it was like one class, it was my geography teacher or something. We were like drawing like a picture of like nature, and I coloured the leaves of the tree in brown and the trunk in green, and she came over and she was like, what the hell are you up to? And I was like, I'm drawing a tree. And she was like, why is the leaves brown? And I was like, no, they're green. She was like, no, Ross, like the leaves are brown, the trunk's green, it's the opposite way around. And I was like, oh right, well that's green. And then she pure got annoyed. She thought I was taking the piss out of her. And then later on that day, she rang my mum and she was like, I think your son's colourblind. And we went in and got a test and like, yeah, 100% colourblind, like profoundly colourblind.
Wait, so what colour am I wearing?
Everybody always asks me the same damn question. It's always the same thing. Every time I say I'm colourblind, people are like, so what colour do you see that as? It's weird. Like, the only way I can describe it is like, I see what you see, whereas you're able to put a label on it, I'm not. Does that make sense? So like, I'll look around this room and like, now to be fair, in some cases there's shades where like I'll not be able to tell the difference. Like if it's a really close green or a brown, it could blend into the one colour for me. But they're like, most of the time it's just like you're able to look at something and be like, oh, that girl's wearing like an orange fleece with a hint of like yellow, whereas I would maybe look at it and be like, it looks red with a like lime green. Do you know what I mean? So
your future girlfriend doesn't really need to worry about what colour she's wearing or matching or anything?
Yeah, no, like it's fine. Like,
dogs see in black and white, don't they?
Yeah, I don't see in black and white. Like, but like I remember, like whenever I was friendly with you, you always asked me, you were like, you just wear like black jeans and a grey jumper, and I was like, that's because I genuinely like I could walk out with the most ridiculous outfit.
He was like, fuck, I thought I was wearing green.
Yeah, and like I remember you used to say to me, you were like, can you not just like wear like different clothes? And I was always like, mate, I'm too scared. Like I don't want to like
going to a funeral every day. Like.
Yeah.
There's even been times where you've sent me like shoes, like, and it's just such a random like colorway, and you're like, lad, these are fucking wrong.
But I'm like, Thomas, look at these, they're so cool, aren't they? The color, he's like, there's more colors in there than the rainbow. Like, wise up. There was another question I wanted to ask you about the sort of activewear thing. So like, I know you were saying about the whole Gymshark sending you stuff and my protein stuff, and what was it like starting at, because people would obviously look at activewear and be like, it's so saturated, there's so many people doing it, like even now, like everybody, because it's so probably quite easy to get like materials and all that there, where you could just start like an absolute sweatshop in your own back shed. Like, so what was that like in terms of where people just kind of like, you're doing pretty much the same thing that other people are doing? Was there like a challenge there to try and be like, no, this is different?
So not initially at the start, because I actually had no idea. I only knew of one in Belfast, like Northern Ireland. That was the only one I knew of. There was only one, and then during after I had launched Aria, then I found another one. I was like, oh, there's another one, and then like two more have popped up since Aria. So like, I just like fair play. Like, there's enough people in the world to sell and people who like your stuff, if they like the stuff they buy, they're gonna come back to you. They could be lifelong customers and stuff. So, and it's just a case of, it is hard work. So some people, I think, will find that they'll just start it and they'll be like, this is not as easy as this isn't an easy way to make money. Like, it's difficult. Like, it's 24 hours. Like, Molly May, sorry. No,
there's 24 hours in a day.
No, there's like,
there's plenty to go around.
No, but you're always switched on with it. Like, you don't act like you can have a 9 to 5 job, and then you go home, and then you can, well, it depends on the job, obviously. Like, some things can stress you out, and like if you're in a difficult job, but you can go home, you can switch off. Like, I am like up at like 1 a.m, being like, what should I post tomorrow? Should I add this to my story? Should I do this? Should I put a link up on Ariana on like Ariana, my feed? And I'm like, oh my goodness, like it is stressful. So like, when we went on ski trip there recently, I literally just had to like switch off. I planned, there's like an app you can pre-plan your posts, and I just used that, and like, so I knew I didn't even have to think about Aria, and we could just hear the sales coming in, which was nice, because it makes like a little ching, and you're like, okay, we sell. No, but again, it's a nice sound, but like, I don't take any money from Aria. I only reinvest in, because I have my own job and my boyfriend has his own job, and we just reinvest into it. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm loaded now. It's like, it's not that. I'd rather be proud of myself and having a established good business with good reviews, happy customers, like that sort of thing, than just like, oh, like I've made, like, if we sold, when we sold out, I could have just went, oh, we sold out, we've made X amount of money, let's take that out and just leave it. But like, I want this to be like long term
evergreen.
So so it's so much fun at the same time.
And have you seen any like brands sort of come up like after you with something similar, and you're a bit like, I've seen that before.
Don't even. No, there is literally like
stare into that camera and call them out.
No, I can't. I wouldn't. No, to be fair, again, like, everyone takes inspiration from everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I haven't ever went purposely, I'm going to copy that brand, or I'm going to do that, or like, but if you subconsciously seen something, maybe the person who did what they did subconsciously saw my photo shoot and did the exact same, like, chair, like the whole setting, like same pose, same studio, same everything. Like, maybe they subconsciously saw, or maybe that was their own idea. Maybe we just, great minds think alike, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe she's just a genius like me.
You message her, maybe take that down now.
No, but like,
get
it's
another
actually,
chair
no,
while you're at
it. I was actually shocking. Like, the photographer was literally like, Ariana, what is this? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how she thought about it. Like, she might not have seen it, but it is weird.
Yeah.
But it's flattering. Highest form of flattering.
Yeah,
True.
So,
imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Yeah,
Is that not
that's
it?
it. I think.
Is that the saying?
I don't know.
It is.
Mine's
He
looking
was
at
like,
me.
no.
I looked at you, fighting of all
I
knowledge
said
over
it.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm glad to see, to be honest, I'm glad to see Northern Irish people doing well. So like, if like there's 3 other brands doing class, then go for it. Like, there's enough to go around.
Because I think the first time I'd seen Aria Activewear was we had Bernadette Higgins on ages ago. Like, this was proper Zoom podcast, like, and we had her on the second time in person.
Love Bernadette.
But then I'd seen you, and then I'd seen Bernadette and India. That was the first time I'd seen it, and I was like, what is this brand? You know what I mean? And then you kind of like put 2 and 2 together when obviously names and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, is that a big part of it as well? Is that you're obviously saying, I think you say on the website, it's like meant for like all types of women.
Yeah.
And like, activewear has changed now, where it's almost like something you buy for not just the gym.
It's everything. Yeah,
like,
no,
you're
like,
wearing tracksuit bottoms right now. Yeah, it's like, you know.
Oh my gosh, yeah, everyone you look about now, it's just they're in activewear. Like, it's like the new normal.
It's just comfy.
It's the new sweats.
Do you not find it so weird though that that's a thing? Like, it used to be where if you left the house in tracksuit bottoms on, it would have been like, God, no, you have to put a pair of jeans on if you're going to Tesco.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I would never dream of putting a pair of jeans on.
I
Like,
don't wear jeans. I put jeans on the other day, right? And I was just like, I looked at myself and was like, oh my goodness, I need to get these off. Like, I was just like, no, and they're so uncomfortable. I'm just like so used to these. I'm like, no.
Because I think skinny's on its, like, skinny jeans is on its way. They're
I
out,
haven't
like,
worn
they're
skinny
gone.
jeans.
Like,
I put I found them, my
apart from
mum.
apart from you, Shay wears. I picked up a pair of Shay's trousers. This sounds dodgy. I picked up a pair of Shay's trousers the other day because we were staying at Thomas's, and walked in, and his trousers were clearly lying from like when he'd come in and passed out. And it was like spray on. It's like spray on. I was like,
Super spray on.
what the heck is spray on?
So
But I was like, as you were saying it earlier about, you know, the way like things fit and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I have quite like chunky legs, but like I don't have a big massive waist. So the
Okay.
spray-on's nearly the best fit for me because it's tight around the ankles. I have like thin ankles.
Yeah. See,
Chunky legs.
everyone's different. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah.
Just be
Like,
you.
sure, low waists coming back in for girls, and I'm like, no, please keep high waisted. Just like with jeans and things, because I'd rather not have my belly out, my whole belly. Like, I'm used to my midriff, and that's it. Like, I get made fun of for having my midriff out. They're like, are you not freezing all the time? And I'm like, no, I just like having my midriff out. While I have abs, I will show them.
It's a choice.
That gives me Christina Aguilera vibes. Early 2000s.
Yeah, but that's coming back in, and I'm like, oh no.
What if you had one thing, like fashion thing, that was coming back in, apart from what you've just said? What would be an absolute no?
Jack Will's gilets.
Jack Will's
Do you
gilet.
No, that is the immediate. No, that is PTSD. Do you not remember? You weren't in East Belfast, but like in East Belfast, there was like an epidemic of them. Like on non-uniform day, everyone wore their Uggs and their gilets with like their Jack Wills, like either like green or navy.
Was it the furry coloured things? No?
Yeah, well, they had like a hood. Well, some of them had a hood. Some of them took the hood off if you're really cool and things like that.
Yeah,
so
nice.
no, that everyone will know what I'm talking about.
I think this was like super dry for
The
us.
girls will
Don't say
know.
too much because you
Dry
may
or
get
Hollister.
physically assaulted like Shay.
Wait, what?
We
I'll
explain
tell
this.
you after.
Okay, tell me after.
Long
Look,
story
that's
short,
sort of
Tommy
is.
made an absolute scene on our podcast one day about Superdry, and Shay was coming out of a place the other night, and someone with Superdry came on and smacked him.
It wasn't because of that.
probably
though.
not really.
It was related. It was
It's
definitely.
just
wasn't it?
funny.
Well, at least
'cause
he listens to the podcast. He's
Yeah,
just fan, I
big
guess.
big fan.
I'd love it if that
It's
actually
worth
was
it,
the
like.
case. It'd be
Okay.
just
Slipped a
funny.
note in
Girls,
Shay's pocket,
please.
and I was like, "Tell Tommy I'm coming for him. He's next."
Girls, please don't hit me if you like Jack Wills. Jack Wills are making a comeback, sure. They're getting all the big influencers on TikTok to wear them now, so they're trying to get back in. I haven't entered the shop yet, not gonna lie.
They're like, they'll send you a gilet. Be like, can you make an ad? And you're like, absolutely not.
Like,
Send
no
it back.
way.
What's the
Crap.
return postage address?
They didn't
With a
give
note
me
inside
one.
it. Do not send me this crap ever again.
No, I just didn't like them.
If you got any, you looked like you were about to ask something there. You want to
I
interrupt
was going to
you?
just say, I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
There's a final question, just to finish it off. If you could live a day in the life of anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's interesting. That's a difficult one. Rihanna, probably. Still Rihanna.
Yeah.
Just because she's pregnant and stuff like that.
Sounds like you just want to have a baby.
Yeah, I do. No, I just love
Your
it.
boyfriend's watching this right now. He's like, oh,
he's like, oh
crap.
no, he's away. No, I actually think Rihanna just purely because she's like really talented and an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. She has her own brand,
Yeah.
all that sort of thing. And then she's having a baby, which is so cute. But did I stop cheating her? That's a question.
I don't think that actually was true. I think
Do you
I'm
not
pretty
think it
sure
is?
I've seen
How
it
could you
wasn't.
treat cheating Rihanna? Like, who
It's happened
has
before,
hope?
hasn't
None
it?
of us have hope. Oh yeah, true.
Drake will be rubbing his hands together.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
But
And Beyonce, sure, Jay-Z. But yeah.
That's
What
true.
was I did ask something to, we had David James Kerr on there the last podcast. I think I asked something that I would quite like to ask you is like, for someone who runs their own business, is like, if say 40, 50 years down the line, like, will there ever be a point, like, because everybody always says like the best point of like is not like the finishing, it's like the journey.
Yeah.
If that like, makes sense, like business or running. So like, would there ever be a point where like, you know, in your head you could sit back and be like, I've done it? Like, what would that point be? Or will it just be a constant grind?
It is difficult. It is difficult to pinpoint because I think it's just a constant grind, and I'm sure we'll have, like, I'll have milestones I want to hit. I just want to kind of get to a point of success where I can help people in my, like, if someone was needing help on the street, I'd like, you know, like give them 100 quid, not even blink an eye, because I've got enough money to do that. That's kind of like my goal to be able to help others and give to charity. Like we do our pink set, like proceeds go to breast cancer awareness. So it's that, even at this early stage, like I remember someone telling me that, oh, you've just started like a business, you don't need to like give to charity already. And I'm like, yeah, but like I want to, like I'd rather implement it now than not, or just try and keep more money for the business, where if we have enough to help others, then we're going to. So we're always open to charities and stuff to like let us know and message us as well, like if they're like, do you want to collab and things, because it's good.
Yeah.
Helps.
That's a fair answer. Well, we'll wrap that up there. Thank you so much for coming on. And if you're
you for
listening to this now
having
or watching, go follow Ariana on Instagram and Aria Activewear. And if you want any cool leggings,
Cool
etc.,
leggings, etc.
with contours left, right, and centre, hop on, order a pair. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.